This is the National Weather Service in La Crosse with a weather briefing concerning a severe storm and heavy rain threat for Friday and Friday night. Severe storms are possible Friday into Friday evening, mainly during the afternoon and evening hours. The severe storms could produce damaging winds, heavy rains, large hail, and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. Potential impacts include damage to trees, crops, and buildings from any strong winds or the isolated tornado if it would occur. But the bigger threat this time around seems to be the renewed threat of flooding and flash flooding because of the heavy rains from Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. Again, the timing severe storms would be mainly Friday afternoon and evening, and the heavy rain threat would mainly be later Friday afternoon and Friday night. On the map, where the threat of the heavy rains and renewed flash flooding is the highest, a flash flood watch has already been issued for these areas for Friday afternoon into Saturday morning. Here's a look at the rainfall from last night. In the more brightly colored band, anywhere from 3 to 7+ inches of rain fell, producing flooding and flash flooding. But more importantly, as we go into Friday and Friday night, this has left the soils in these areas wet and saturated, which could lead to even more runoff from the next round of heavy rains. The next round of heavy rains here, the potential is for 1 to 3 inches across much of the area. The area of the heavy rain band here is a bit uncertain, and it's rather broad at this time, but it could be a very narrow band again with 1 to locally 3 inches and potential for even more, much like last night. Where the heavy rain is exactly going to fall remains uncertain yet. But the threat area here, again, mostly near and southwest of Interstate 94 and across southeast Minnesota and into southwest Wisconsin. The slight risk of severe storms covers much of the area. This also mainly near and southwest of Interstate 94. Again, damaging winds, large hail, and heavy rains. An isolated tornado cannot be ruled out, mainly across northeast Iowa and nearby areas. The threats relative to each other here, the tornado threat is on the smaller side this time around. Damaging winds, similar to, but maybe slightly less than they were yesterday afternoon and evening. The large hail threat is on the lower side as the air mass over the area is fairly warm and deep. The heavy rain threat is on the higher side as the setup for the heavy rains Friday afternoon and evening is very similar to what occurred Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. The bottom line, more heavy rains and severe storms are possible Friday afternoon into Friday night. Plenty of hazards out there, so be weather alert Friday and Friday night, especially if you have outdoor activities or are camping or recreating near our rivers and streams.